Mysterious case. Anita Kudson's death after 18 years seeking justice. In June 2007, the small city of Minot in North Dakota witnessed a terrifying murder when Minot State University student Anita Kudson was found stabbed to death in her bedroom. It took 18 years before the case went to trial, ending with a shocking verdict and an unusually explosive reaction in the courtroom. On June 4, 2007, after several days without contact with his daughter, Gordon Kudson, Anita's father, went to the apartment she shared with Nicole Rice, then known as Nicole Thomas. Unable to enter because the door was locked, he asked the building manager for help. When they arrived, maintenance worker Marty Anell pointed out that the screen on Anita's bedroom window had been cut and set aside. Looking through the window, a horrifying sight greeted the father. Anita was lying face down on the bed, covered by a blood-soaked robe. When police arrived and moved the body, a bloody knife fell out from the bedding. The medical examiner reported that Anita had died from blood loss after being stabbed twice in the chest. Initially, Minot police believed this might be a break-in and murder, but no arrests were made for many years. Despite reward offers for information, the case became cold. Anita and Nicole had attended high school together in Velva, North Dakota. However, their relationship as roommates had become tense and full of conflict. Anita's family said Rice's behavior was so unpredictable and erratic that Anita had asked her father to install a lock on her bedroom door to have a place to escape from Rice. On the other hand, Rice's former friends claimed that Anita was the one who behaved cruelly and with hostility. They reported that Anita had repeatedly unplugged Rice's fish tank, even causing her fish to die. Disagreements about alarm clocks, Wi-Fi, and lifestyle made the atmosphere in the apartment extremely tense. In 2018, the Minot Police Department assigned Detective Macaulay Talbert to review all the evidence. By 2021, they collaborated with the television show Cold Justice, a series featuring outside investigators examining unsolved cases across the country. With the show's resources and techniques, detectives finally narrowed their investigation to one suspect, Nicole Rice. They cited Rice's inconsistent statements after Anita was found dead, as well as her allegedly indifferent reaction upon learning her roommate had been violently killed. Added to this was an alleged confession Rice had made to a former boyfriend. In March 2022, Minot police formally arrested Rice. She posted $120,000 bail, and it took several more years before the case went to trial. Due to serious bias against Rice in the Ward County jury pool, the trial was moved to Grand Forks County. The trial finally began on March 18, 2025, 18 years after Anita's death. Prosecutor Tiffany Sorgan delivered a brief opening statement, emphasizing the feud between the two women and alleging that Rice had stabbed Anita in the early morning of June 3, 2007. Defense attorney Richard San responded with a longer statement, criticizing the Minot Police Department for their investigation. He alleged that only pressure from a national television show had forced the police and prosecutor's office to file charges in the case. San also mentioned other suspects police had previously considered, including a young man named Devin Hall and one of Anita's ex-boyfriends. Multiple witnesses testified during the trial. Acting Police Chief Dale Placis admitted that the Minot Police Department had been understaffed for years and welcomed help from the Cold Justice production team. Former Officer David Goodman testified that he had suspected Rice from the beginning because of her attitude and inconsistencies in her statements. According to him, instead of being concerned about someone breaking into the apartment and stabbing her roommate, Rice seemed more worried about her missing iPod. Rice's former co-worker, Donna, testified that Rice frequently expressed anger about her roommate and was particularly furious when Anita killed her fish a week before the murder. Donna also recalled that after Anita's death, Rice told her, "If I keep quiet, I'll be fine." William May, who had a romantic relationship with Rice in the summer of 2008, testified that at a party when Rice was drunk, she admitted to killing Anita. However, May also acknowledged that when he later tried to get Rice to repeat the confession while sober, she vehemently denied the accusation. Rice's aunt, Brenda Glenn, also testified that during a long trip from New Mexico to North Dakota, Rice had shared disturbing details, including that Anita looked peaceful, lying on the bed, and that there was a bowl of water in the bathroom sink that the killer used to wash their hands and the knife. Nicole Rice's defense strategy was meticulously constructed and multifaceted, focusing on finding weaknesses in the investigation and the prosecutor's arguments. Attorney Richard Sand built a solid defense around three main pillars: the flawed investigation, the presence of potential alternative suspects, and the lack of direct forensic evidence linking Rice to the crime. From the beginning of the trial, the defense team strongly attacked the integrity of the investigation. Sand repeatedly emphasized that Minot police had not pursued important leads and felt pressured to solve the case due to the presence of the Cold Justice television show. In an emotional opening, Sand said, "Nicole was charged after a national media circus descended on Minot, implying that police decisions were influenced by public relations considerations rather than actual evidence. When it was the defense's turn, they called only one witness, James Douglas Coons, a retired FBI agent turned private investigator whom the defense team had hired to review the case from scratch. Coons pointed out numerous gaps in the investigation and stated, "While not impossible, I don't think she, Rice, is likely responsible for Anita's death." After a week of testimony, the prosecutor and defense moved to closing arguments on March 25th. The jury received the case around 3 p.m. on March 25th, and the next morning they announced they had reached a verdict. "We, the sworn jury, find the defendant Nicole Aaron Rice not guilty as charged," the court clerk read the verdict. The reaction in the courtroom was explosive, with the defense team, the defendant, and her family expressing their joy loudly. Notably, the judge did not immediately suppress this reaction, which was quite unusual in a courtroom setting. Following the not guilty verdict, Sand's law firm issued a statement acknowledging what they seemed to suggest was a breach of courtroom decorum. When the verdict was read, we reacted emotionally. We sincerely apologize to anyone who was offended, especially the family of Anita Kudson. Anita's loss is heartbreaking, and we did not intend to be disrespectful. Although the not guilty verdict was a victory for Rice, there are still no answers about what happened to Anita. There is no justice in any way for her or her family. And the question becomes, if Nicole Rice didn't kill Anita, then who did? This case illustrates the challenges in solving cold cases, the influence of mass media on the justice system, and the fine line between justice and public pressure. After 18 years, Anita Kudson's family still hasn't found the truth behind her death, and the real killer, if not Nicole Rice, remains free. While Nicole Rice may have been declared not guilty in the eyes of the law, in the minds of many, including Anita's family and friends, the question of what really happened on that fateful day remains a painful mystery. And for Nicole Rice, although set free, the shadow of the accusation and 18 years of suspicion have left scars that will likely never completely disappear. The Anita Kudson case will continue to be one of North Dakota's most notable unsolved cases, a reminder of the complexity of the criminal justice system and the importance of thorough investigation from the beginning. Whatever the final verdict, the pain of both families, Kudson and Rice, will continue, simply because justice has not truly been served for Anita.